Plants and animals. While beaches might seem deserted at first glance, they are actually very diverse and productive ecosystems. They serve as an essential link between marine and terrestrial environments. At the beach, animals burrow into the sand to protect themselves from the crashing waves or to avoid drying out during low tides. They frequently move up and down along the beach, following the shifting tides. Other animals are simply visitors to the area, like birds and fish. The following image shows some common organisms that inhabit the beach under study. With it, you can perform the following activity. Observing and recording plants and animals on the beach. You will need the following materials. Plastic bags. 10 objects collected from the beach. No live animals, please. Dead plants. Only harvest a small piece if they are alive. Pencil. Paper. Clipboard. Procedure. For this activity, number 1. Provide the plastic bags for the students. Number 2. Collect 10 different objects from the beach. Number 3. Write down on your paper where on the beach you found each object. Remind the participants that live animals must not be collected, and if a live plant is chosen, to only harvest a small piece of a leaf from the plant. The main idea is to observe and preserve the flora and fauna. Number 4. Upon returning to the classroom, separate the biological elements from those not biological, and the plants from the animals. Number 5. Identify the collected elements. Number 6. Once this has been done and discussed, ask each student to describe one of the collected objects in terms of shape, color, and size. If the student wishes, a drawing of the object can be made. Number 7. As an additional activity, you may ask students to select one of the organisms collected and research its habits, diet, movement, reproduction, protection, etc. They should account for any unusual or interesting characteristics. Include the aspects in which these organisms might be affected by human beings and climate change, and how they can be protected. You may use the organisms collected from the beach and build a food chain, and thus demonstrate how the plants and animals interact within the ecosystem, and how energy passes from one organism to the other. The vegetation located at and behind the beach plays an important role in the stabilization of sediments and the prevention of erosion. In order to determine the role played by beach vegetation, you may perform the following activity. Understanding the role of beach vegetation. Grasses and vines dominate the soil beyond the high tide level. After that, there are salt-resistant shrubs, and these are followed by different types of trees adapted to the coastal environment. In tropical environments, beach morning glory, Ipomoea pescaprae, can be found in abundance just beyond the shoreline. This is a long, creeping vine that can generally be found colonizing the sand surface. Further inland, there are many different species of trees, and in tropical areas, these might include sea grapes, Coccoloba uvifera, porcha trees, Thespesia populnea, coconut palms, Cocos nucifera, the poisonous manchineel, Ipomane mancinella, and the West Indies or beach almond, Terminalia catappa. The change from one type of vegetation to the other is known as a vegetation succession. To perform the activity, you will need the following materials: measuring tape, pencil, paper, clipboard. Procedure. Number 1. Place the measuring tape at the edge of the vegetation that faces the water and measure inland. Number 2. Write down the number of plant species present in a 2-meter interval. Number 3. Then identify or describe the species if the scientific name is unknown. Observe and write down if the plants appear under any kind of stress, such as exposed roots and brown or wilted leaves. This activity can be done just once, although it can perhaps be worth repeating after a severe storm. Number 4. Use the collected data to describe the vegetation succession. A typical coastal succession is shown in the following figure. Number 5. Ask students to draw a properly identified vegetation succession. Number 6. Predict what will happen to the vegetation succession if the sea level increases or if the beach pulls back or broadens. Number 7. Infer what might happen if all of the vegetation were to be removed in order to make place for a new coastal development project. Besides finding vegetation at the beach, many animals use this resource as a shelter, permanent habitat, food source, and as a site for reproduction. Sea turtles use many of the tropical beaches as nesting grounds. You can carry out a monitoring plan for these turtle nests in your community. Monitoring sea turtle nesting grounds. The most common species of sea turtle are the leatherback, Dermochelys coriacea, the hawksbill, Eretmochelys imbricata, the green sea turtle, Chelonia mydas, the loggerhead, Careta careta, the Kemp's Ridley turtle, Lepidochelys kempi, the olive Ridley turtle, Lepidochelys olivacea. These turtles arrive at the beach at night, dig, and make their nests at the back of the beach or amid the vegetation and deposit their eggs in the sand. The nesting period depends on the species and geographic zone. In the Caribbean, most nesting takes place between April and September. After the eggs have been laid, the female covers the nest with sand and returns to sea. The neonate turtles emerge after an incubation period of 55 to 72 days. Monitoring sea turtle nests might include nighttime vigils at the most important nesting beaches, visual review of the beaches at dawn to find sea turtle tracks, identification of nesting sites, and the observation of emergent hatchlings. There are a variety of educational resources that you can use to promote the conservation of sea turtles. The wider Caribbean Sea Turtle Conservation Network, known as WITECAST, has a marine turtles educational kit available through their website, www.whitecast.org. This kit was designed to inform and educate coastal communities about the dynamic nature of beaches, with an emphasis on the endangered Hawksbill turtle. The kit is available free of cost through the following websites: SandWatch, www.sandwatch.org, and WITECAST, www.whitecast.org. It includes activities about the following topics: basic sea turtle biology, the composition and softness of sand, risk of predation, habitat conservation, among others. Habitat study in turtle nesting grounds is a complex task, and care must be taken to avoid damaging or disturbing the nests. For more information, please contact marine biologists or local sea turtle experts. After performing these activities, you will discover and appreciate the diversity of the organisms that inhabit our beaches. Please share this information with your community so our marine and coastal resources are managed efficiently.